Change of direction.
Still wrestling, still going. Offload.
Popped and pulled in by Finotti. Bywater all tangled up. As well to get out just in time perhaps. Tore to Vasu Volangi. Vasu Volangi, he has been the difference in the second half. Scored a try and set up that time.
He sold it. Yep.
There was no complaint from Kolwaka, who obviously thought that was perhaps fair enough.
That's the real first time I can remember that they've kicked for touch, isn't it? Normally they've just tap and go.
Big set coming up. The Bears lead by 2. Not sure Northcote have got 2 tries in them at this point, so if they can get up to a 2-score lead, it might just be enough to survive. Now Lamb is the dummy half. Looks to his left, finds Tippins, and then Kavaleku! Swapi!
It was a big bear play. Big bear play. Just about to say we get down here and it's going to be a big bear play, and they don't come any bigger than that bear. There we go, the SAS Action Sporting replay, and we're just getting to the end of it, and he's bumped a couple, dragged one, and he's a great pathfinder. He knows how to do it. 4 points right beneath the black dot. And the crowd comes alive.
So this kick to make it an 8-point ball game, 2 scores required from Northcote. I said maybe 30 seconds prior to Swape Kavaleku busting his way through the middle of the park that a converted try might just do it here for Glenora. From right in front, he won't get an easier one. So Mosi Aseta converts it, flags go up, they lead by 8, 9 minutes to play, and Northcote now will require a minor miracle.
Glenora 24, Northcote 16, 9 minutes to go of this SAS Fox Memorial Elimination semi-final.
Well, if any team has a minor miracle in them, you'd look no further than the Northcote Tigers. This not over yet.
They'll go long and try and force an error. Guess who?
Yeah. Great carry.
Come under plenty of attention that time. Swape, slow back to the feet. Bernard bumps the ball forward, and this is where these middle forwards come into their own now for Glenora. They'll just look to work the ball up, chew off as much clock as they can, and then trust their playmakers who have been excellent all day to get a kick away. This man made the difference. Vasu Volangi, Bay Roskill Jr. Time with the North Queensland under-20s as Tippins now goes through, and the Tigers are holding on by the skin of their teeth right now. Yoka to Riuli Buchanan. Tore will run it. Tore flings it out the back. That's messy and not the finish to the set they would have been hoping for. Now they come down the right-hand side. It's last play, and Taumata eventually gets to the kick. Stone Dunn back to clean it up and beats the initial line and then brings it back in field. So 7.5 to go. The Tigers need 2 tries. Vitini Abua, he can hold his head high. He's been excellent in the centres. Utility player, he plays all over the show for this squad. Has to play in the centres today and done a good job. Eddie Finota.
Hammered.
Kavaleku. Swape, he's enjoying his day at the office, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Even that time he slips over. Mana. Pops the ball out the back. Goes to Tiaho. Tiaho. Kenny Stewart bumps the ball forward. Last play coming up now for the Tigers. Don't have to score, but a repeat set, probably the very least. Waka goes over the top then to Vitinia Bua, who kicks.
Wow.
And, well, not even
It's like
sure
a stop shot, isn't it?
What's the rule here?
In
This is
front.
going to go to Northcote. Wow. Big moment.
Well, they really need something here because the actual countdown clock is becoming an enemy at this point.
6 to play by our count. There's time if they're good enough, Northcote. Bumping the ball forward now. This is Tuigamala. Afu misses out Captain Eddie and goes to Bywater instead. Bywater backs his way into the tackle, perhaps thinking second phase. As well wrapped up by Bernard in front of the SAS uprights. 8 the gap. Afu to Waka. Waka crabs across and then goes to Vitinia Bua, but the Glenora line are up quickly. Afu short! Burrowing low is Eddie Finota. He goes so close. He was over the line. Tackle still up their sleeve here, the Tigers. Afu to Tuigamala. Tuigamala says we'll have to change direction. Does so. Finds Stone Dunn. Stone Dunn shakes out the first one. Finds an offload and now Chase Bernard is away. In fact, it's Phoenix Paiu now shaking out of 1, shaking out of 2. Kolwaka eventually ragdolls him to ground, but he's 35 off his own line.
5 minutes to full time, and it looks like it's going to be Bears here, trundling down the centre of the park.
Glenora closing in on survival. Northcote staring down the barrel of an elimination final exit for the second year in a row. Ball loose. Well, this gives them a chance. They're going to spread the ball early now, and Amoa Tully looks up and sees nothing but white jerseys in front of him. Moses Leo.
Another Bear there holding his leg. He's looking a bit dodgy on the defence.
Joe Bywater.
Yep, pulled it off.
Coming off from the field now. Matt Tafotu back on by the look of things. Bana.
Yeah, the Bear. The lock struggling.
Karia Yoka battling for Glenora. Join the club. Waka. Crabbing. Looking for a gap call. Waka.
Oh, he's dropped.
Ball comes loose. Vasu Valangi scoops it up.
Trying to put the big guy down.
Slow to the seat. Feet. Solomon. Paiu. Bears in no hurry now. One out through the middle for them. Well, just as I say that, they break down the left-hand side via Phoenix Paiu and take it down 40 out from the line.
That was off a Sawapi cutout pass.
Speaking of the man, Kavaleku! It's his third line break of the game. This is ridiculous. Suape killing it through the middle.
I just hope he doesn't pull a hamstring.
Bernard to Tuore. Back to Fanoti. And there's not a lot Northcote can do here. As Glenora just chew this clock off, you can expect this to get buried into touch here at the conclusion of this set. Although, just as I say that, they're keen to still play football. I'm sure much to the delight of coaching staff as Stone Dunn goes across field. It ends up in the hands of Waka. Vitinia Bua heads down, but they scramble nicely. 2 to play. Finota, short at the line. Play on the call. Afu. No one with him. Wanted an offload. Just short of halfway now. Bana wants a quick play of the ball. Goes to Tiaho. Looping ball. Amoa Tully. Now Ted Donnelly into a little bit of space on the right-hand side. Ted Donnelly has to come back in field. He was
Wow.
here, Ted Donnelly.
They got to go quick. They got to go quick. Clock counting down, 122, 121.
So a quick look at the replay here as the kick is lined up. We'll get Troy to talk us through the replay as I keep an eye on the kick, which could end up being pretty important to Igamala.
Yep, they've shifted it out on the sideline here. We can see the breakaway down that right-hand edge by the winger. Managed to stay in, 4 points. Back to the live action. Here we go.
And my apologies, I've called that one as Ted Donnelly. It was in fact Moses Leo. As Tuigamala drills it from the sideline.
Well, 50 seconds. And from surprise, the Bears moseying back to the halfway line.
So we'll give you accurate clock updates as they come in. As the final few seconds count down.
Tigers are set, they're ready.
We will get time off once it reaches a certain threshold.
How good is this, Corey Rosser? How good is this? Reset the tee.
So ignore the clock on screen, listen for the siren, and watch for the second phase. Here we go to keep a season alive.
$20 seconds.
20 seconds to play. Finota. Ball's loose. Glenora are going to win.
There you go.
What a game. What an effort from the Bears. They led early and then had to endure a really, really rough time before coming back. But the Bears will live to fight another day. They win this one 24-22 over the Northcote Tigers in a grueling elimination semi-final. Full credit to the Northcote Tigers who gave it their all. But in the end, Glenora come up with the big plays in the crucial moments, and they will advance to play the loser of Mount Albert versus Howick up next.
So next week here.
Wow. That's all I've got left in me. Corey Rosser, fabulous on the call today for the elimination semi-final here at Mount Smart number 2. And we can see some of the Bears on the screen now. Congratulating each other. It's been a massive tussle to get to here today. They came from 6th position during regular season, played themselves into the top 4. Northcote, who have had a wonderful season, to come down only 2 points away, and you can see there's a lot of emotion there.
Next game today is the major semi-final in the SAS Fox Memorial.
Heartfelt feelings out to the Northcote Tigers family.
And the Howick Hornets.
They play a brilliant class of rugby league.
They will run out as follows. Wanitika,
Jeff Morton on screen. There's the wonderful Bears today. What a fabulous game that they've played.
Anganofo. 4, Darren Killett-Moore. 5, Christian Tippett.
Suape's done it all today. The big number 10 there, he's had a fabulous day,
7,
as did the back rowers,
8,
as they now walk towards the Tigers
Falilua Malia.
and the Glenora Bears progress
Marcus Fraser.
to the major final next week.
10, Matui
And they wait now for the following match is top of the table, Howick Hornets
13, Hoani
play Mount Albert Lions, and the loser of that game will meet Glenora next week.
Falilua Malia. 16.
Viewers, if you've just joined us here at Mount Smart number 2, the Auckland Rugby League semi-finals underway, and due to stoppage, due to some injury play, the game that's just finished where we saw the Bears over Northcote, we're looking at a live stream kickoff around about 3 p.m. as we see some of the teams now filtering out, and Northcote Tigers over there thanking their supporters following them this season. And it's been a fabulous season for the Northcote Tigers. They play a wonderful brand of football. However, today was not to be. And we now get ready for a 3 p.m. kickoff as the live stream match for 250 is pushed back. Don't go too far away, ladies and gentlemen. The last major game for today's is about to kick off, as we wait now for the arrival of the Howick Hornets up against the Mount Albert Lions.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, we've got a slight delay to our live stream schedule today just due to a number of stoppages in the earlier games, so we're scheduled for a 3 p.m. kickoff between the Howick Hornets and the Mount Albert Lions. Back in a few moments. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, for today's qualifying semi-final in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. We've got the Howick Hornets up against the Mount Albert Lions. Mount Albert wearing the yellow and the Howick Hornets the blue, led out by the captains, Paiapalu and Jethro Friend for the Howick Hornets. Not too far away from kickoff now. Very shortly we'll run you through the team list with a 3 p.m. kickoff slated just due to a number of stoppages in the earlier games, which has pushed our kickoff time back slightly. Thanks for tuning in. So the Howick Hornets fairly well take the field as named. Peter Olivetti will be the fullback. Carlos Hortony is the key playmaker in the number 7 jersey. Tony Tuia and Clayton Williams offer brilliant go forward. But the big one is Jethro Friend. He returns from a shoulder injury, which kept him out last week. He'll be the one that controls the ruck and looks to dictate the pace of the game. He's a big in for the Howick Hornets. He's also their skipper. So a couple of big names back for them to bolster their effort. And for the Mount Albert Lions, once again, in fact, they are perfectly as named. Paiapalu will captain the side from the back row. Falelu Amalio is their standout forward. Watch for Aidan Ackland and Trent Wallace in the halves. Hoani Rogers-Brown as well, who's playing good football in number 13 jersey. He was a standout last week in their match against the Howick Hornets, which they won quite comfortably in the end. All right, the huddles break up, and we prepare to do it all again. Backing up from what was a emotionally draining elimination semi-final, well onto the Glenora Bears, getting up 24-22 winners over the North Coast Tigers. Troy, we could not have hoped for much more in that particular clash.
Oh, mate, outstanding football. And the Glenora Bears, well, they're there to the major final, and they get to play the loser of this match. And it would be fair to say both teams here want to win today and go straight to the big dance. Mount Albert kicks off. Welcome in, everybody.
Tony Tuia gets us underway. Bit of an injury interrupted season for Tony, but he's here for the business end, and I know last year hit him particularly hard. Another exit in the major semi-final. Once again, they were minutes away from a grand final appearance. Different team this year, though, as Nick Wilson bumps the ball forward and gets rocked by Amoni Tafui. Brandon Lee straight back at them, and Falilua Malio ×2 hits them with help from their skipper by Palu. Friend to Clayton Williams, and Clayton Williams, this front rower, I really can't say enough good things about. He has been excellent for them this year. Hortony will kick, goes in behind, Lilinga scoops it up and then returns the ball with a bit of interest, but a really good set to start
Great
the match
tackle
with
here,
a Hornet,
no front
and
him out.
get him over. Well, there you go. I thought it was a good set before that happened. It's now turned into a great set.
Well, the Howick Hornets are showing they've got a wee bit of sting in their tail at the kickoff. And we have a look at the SAS action replay here as they carry the line out over the line. And big welcome in to all the fans down there. I'm to understand that the Mount Albert Lions will be showing it on the big screen.
So through the regular season, it was the Howick Hornets who were the Rukatai Shield minor premiers. They won 14 games, lost 4. Mount Albert were the next closest, second position, 13 wins,
Great break
5
here.
losses.
Sorry, Corey. Skipped out from the base of the scrum, putting pressure on early.
Boetti
Dropped
foul.
it.
Ball put down. Callop Moore getting the praise. So an early opportunity goes begging for the Howick Hornets, but Mount Albert do nicely to survive that one, and will now pack down a scrum. Look to just settle things a little after a dodgy old start. They haven't seen the ball for the first 2.5 minutes. Were perhaps lucky to get away with that one. Change up in the scrum being called there. Royden Gillett's going to go and take the place of Clayton Williams. So Ackland straight off the scrum, and
Strong fend.
he's a strong ball carrier for his size. Lilinga straight through the heart now. Foniteka Lilinga still going. Wow.
All going.
What a carry. Former Mangere East man. He's been excellent all year. Now a little bit of action in the tackle there as they fought for a quick play of the ball. There's still Howick players getting back in onside. Falilua Malio plays to big brother Salah. Salah with the change of direction at the line. Brandon Lee says your legs are going nowhere. Wallace to Ackland, half to half. Whineanga Norfolk goes to the line and just about went through. He had Rory Ropati looming on his shoulder. Ropati clears the ruck, goes to Ackland. Ackland with the change of direction.
Full count there.
So hand over ball, end-to-end stuff quite literally. And all starts off a brilliant carry from Foniteka Lilinga straight through the heart of the Howick line. That will not please Sean Clark one bit. They'll be pretty happy with the way they recovered and held on. So 3.5 gone. And both teams with legitimate try-scoring opportunities already.
And placed him on the ground.
Tuia takes it forward, taken by Ropati and Ackland. Tafui in there as well. Ackland and Ropati cousins. Wilson carries the ball up over the 40. Williams driving the legs. Ball loose. Penalty the call.
And a big shout out to the cousins. I understand John and Tani are in Sydney at the moment watching the live stream. And the 2 older boys, Jordan and Mitchell, are up this morning, Corey, first thing, in London, watching this game live. And I'm to understand that they're Rory and Eden's greatest critics, so they'll be giving them a breakdown at the end of the match, I guess. Howick's on the burst. That was Howick's and Hornets together, by the way. I thought I'd better recover from that one.
Oh,
Tony Tuia on the fly.
9 out from the line now. Jethro Friend assessing his options. Jumps out, links with Prendergast, and then Prendergast hands off to Royden Gillett, but the line is up quickly. Peter Olivetti calling shots, in fact barking shots from dummy half. Prendergast then goes to Reece Charlie. Front of the SAS uprights. Simon Taylor, our middle referee today. Friend. Jethro! Jumps out and Ackland is well and truly up to it. This is the last play coming up now. Set heavy towards the middle of the park here are the Hornets, and that's the way it will go to Carlos Hortony. Hot stepping. Flicks the ball out the back, goes to Olivetti, and Olivetti kicks. Now surely Hortony was offside, it won't matter. It's Stroll dead, and Mount Albert will be back out to the 20 for a restart and play. Some good stuff at the start of that set, but seemed to fall away shape-wise at the back end.
Well, I'm just getting over the fact they've been pretty much end-to-end since kickoff. Been up and down the park a couple of times now, and we're on the Mount Albert Lions try line as they get ready to restart.
Now, change of call here. It was initially going to be out to the 20. It's now ruled to have come off the knee of a Mount Albert player, which means we'll have a dropout here. So that's a big change from the on-field decision initially. And now Mount Albert will drop out and have to likely soak up another set defensively. Scrappy one off the boot of Ackland. Does the job though. 40 on the flight. Clayton Williams.
How strong's he?
Thought about the offload and then he thought better of it.
And just look at how quick's to play the ball.
Yeah. Friend takes full advantage as well and then gets back slammed by Tafui. Williams. To the right side they come now. Hortony with the little step and steps right back into the shoulder of Rogers Brown. Friend goes close, but the wall of yellow arrived to prevent him and just push him back. Had Reece Charlie on his shoulder as well. Swings it out the back now to Prendergast, and Prendergast gets a messy kick away, and then Falilu Amalio leaves a handprint on his face. Frantic stuff early on. It's got the feeling like both teams are maybe a little bit nervous right now. The pace is certainly fast, but the execution not so great so far as Mount Albert bring it off the back now and head up to 25, 27 metres off their own line. Wallace now the dummy half, brings in Callum Moore, the rugby union convert. Had a good game last week. Falilu Amalio to Lelinga. Already got some run meters under the belt. Shakes out a 1, shakes out a 2, 3, 4, have lost count. Into opposition territory now. Wallace will kick from the bottom of the ruck, and that's a good set. Brilliantly finished off by Trent Wallace, whose game management we marvelled at last week, and once again picks the right option there, and that's probably the best set of the game.
Yeah, they were clinical. So head towards the referee and we get ready to pack in. Again, good strong crowd here watching the Howick Hornets and Mount Albert Lions in the SAS Fox Memorial semi-final. The winner of this game, they get to go to the big dance. So Olivetti faked with an inside drop ball there and carried on. Nick Wilson on the carry.
Big inclusion for them, isn't he, Nick Wilson? Been in the wars this year. Did his calf or hammy from memory and then dislocated his finger. Missed last week due to a personal commitment, so a handy one to have back. Hortony shuffles play on. Vueti Bau. He's another one. Did his knee against Northcote in our live stream game a few weeks ago in horrible conditions. It's nice to see him back. Clayton Williams straight and hard and then gets back slammed. It won't matter to Clayton as he fights for a quick play of the ball. That's good work. Spins it out the back now. Prendergast says we'll put a high one up. Lelinga, you can try and bring this one in. It's going to fall instead for Corey Sita, the former Marist man. He's been at Mount Albert a little while now. Represented Auckland a few years ago against the New Zealand Māori residents. He's a really good winger. Super reliable out wide. Right now he's keeping Mark Graham out of a spot. Ackland looked up and saw a little half gap. Not through on that occasion, but that won't be the last time he runs the football. Trent Wallace, they'll play on now and go down the right-hand edge. Howick arrive in numbers to prevent anything eventuating. Ropati is the dummy half. Goes to Ackland, to Wallace, half to half. Wallace trips over the top and bounces up kindly in the end for Connor Morris, who would have been sweating on that one. Tuia.
So we're going to say as we get up to the halfway line here, Corey, you know, it's just been one off the ruck. Looks like they're now, nope, they're dinking over the top.
Good kick from Hortony. Lilinga back to collect.
He's been dangerous on the ball, hasn't he?
He has indeed. 50-odd metres on his first run. It's a fair start to the game. Saw him in action at the SportSafe ARL9s at the start of the year, and he was outstanding there. At that stage, he was a Mangere East player. Finishes up at Mount Albert.
Just about through the tackle there.
So Mount Albert getting a bit of a spread on now. Whirinanga Norfolk with the offload. Ropati with a goose step.
Wow.
Ropati breaking down that side. Sita was looming in support. Taking the ground now, 11 metres out from the line. Sita will clear the ruck. Then goes to Ackland. Ackland back in field to Whirinanga Norfolk.
Oh!
Reach out. Wow.
There it is.
Brilliant stuff from Molino. Looked like he was going to be short, and then out comes the big arm, reaches
Big 6-foot arm.
opens the scoring for the Mount Albert Lions. 27.5 to play in the first half. It's the Lions who lead by 4.
Yeah, and I'll have to add on the SAS Sporting replay. Probably started from the split line run there from Rory Ropati, and John will be happy with that. Got a quick play the ball away, and here it looked like he was actually tackled, but boom, that final effort there, he just launched off his feet to get a wee bit more momentum forward and gets his arm across. 4 points, Lions draw first blood.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this try scores number 3, Molino, Whirinanga, 05.
I think Mr. Ackland will make an easy job of this one. It's on his natural side. Boys in London will be holding their breath. Yep. 2 points.
So Mount Albert lead 6 points to 0, 26.5 to play, and it was a frantic sort of start to the game, but neither team created too many try-scoring opportunities, but that time, all off the back of Molino, Whirinanga Norfolk reaches out and scores the try and gives the Lions an early lead. Remember, they come into this one having beaten Howick comfortably last week, and Troy touched on it in the build-up. They were in impeccable form that day, and will probably need to replicate that if they are to beat any chance today, because they're coming up against the Howick Hornets team who are only stronger thanks to the inclusion of a couple of their most senior players.
Yeah, absolutely, and those senior players being included, today's the day for the Howick Hornets to set up and set tone and tenor. You know, they really do want to win this match and go straight to the big dance. I don't think anybody's going to be cherishing the thought of playing Glenora next week.
No, that's right. Even if you manage to beat them, you're going to go into that grand final with some bruised and battered bodies. Ropati takes him forward, taken down smack bam on halfway by Nick Wilson. Falilua Malio jumps out and then gets hunted down by Nick Wilson. Grabs him by the collar. Whirinanga Norfolk kicks over the top. Ackland screaming through the middle, bounces up nicely for Peter Olivetti, though, the former Mount Albert Lion. He spent time at Papakura as well. Vuiti Bau. Tuia will work it up through the middle, runs it towards Ropati, and Ackland's in there as well as Tafui. Get to the kick, under pressure from Ropati.
Yeah,
Finds
great
space
chase out.
between winger and fullback. Scooped up by Lilinga. Lilinga centralises and runs it back towards the direction of Jethro Friend. It's Mount Albert who lead by 6. Working the ball out, and the pace of the game's probably slowed a little. Starting to see probably a little bit less of the sort of desperate need for offloads that may have been there early on. And I mentioned before, it was a little bit unstructured from a Howick point of view at least, so they'll be looking to get back into the game plan set out for them by coach Sean Clark. And I do want to give a shout out to Sean Clark on what's been a brilliant year to claim the Rukatai Shield. Lost a fair bit of talent over the off-season as Albrecht got there just in time and beat Sita to the ball. Albrecht slow to get to the play of the ball. He's in a little bit of trouble on back play here, Jesse Albrecht. Prendergast. Good contact up top to Fui. No fun running at those two.
Yeah, a couple of changes happening on the Howick Hornets camp.
8 short of halfway now. Vuiti Bau. Heavily involved, a number of carries early on for Johnny. Hortony works the short side, kicks in behind as well, and a good finish to the set there from Carlos Hortony. Buries that one into touch and now gives his team the chance to build their way and try and trap Mount Albert down this end of the park. 22 to play in the first half. It's the Lions who lead by 6.
Yeah, first 20-odd minutes. Howick were trying to get a roll on, went from end to end, and Mount Albert pulls off a wonderful try. So 6 points up now. Howick Hornets have an opportunity in regards to being in the right part of the park. They just need to get good line speed here for their defence and keep them down here. Come the Lions inside the 10.
Ropati charged with the first carry. They combine nicely, Ackland and Ropati down that side, as Rogers Brown powers forward, the Auckland Māori representative last year. Falilua Malio, one of many Kelston graduates on display this grand final day. Tafui heading across field, wanted an offload. And gets a penalty. Good work there from Moni Tafui. So Ackland kicks for touch. Falilua Malio to Ackland. Ackland turns back to the inside to Rogers Brown.
Just lost a bit of rhythm there, didn't it?
Something going on in back play there. There was a whole lot of pointing and jeering going on. Play on anyway. Falilua Malio to Sulla. Sulla then throws a big face ball to Palu, and it's looming on the left-hand side now. They come back through the middle via Callum Moore. It's Mount Albert with the running right now. Wallace is the first receiver. Half to half, and then to the hands of Cully Cully.
Lots of chat on the Mount Albert Lions side.
15 to travel. Falilua Malio kicks. It's way too heavy. Player down and back play here. Falilo Malio, has he been taken out off the ball? That's the suggestion at least. He's helped to his feet by a couple of concerned Howick players.
They're going back to check him. Now it's tap and go.
So Mount Albert a man down on the defensive line for the time being as Johnny makes his way back in. Hortony to Vuiti Bau. Olivetti slammed to ground. Penalty for it as well.
Good to see Russell Gordon backing the Mount Albert Lions, one of their major sponsors.
So Hortony dinks that one into touch. Williams goes back door to Prendergast, who then finds Reece Charlie. Friend. Brandon Lee. He's the underrated hero in this Howick pack, Brandon Lee. Hortony holds up the ball beautifully and just about put Vuitibao through a gap. Looks likely down that side. Williams will go straight and hard. Driving those legs and turns his back. Now last play coming up for the Howick Hornets. Looking for their first points. Potentially to tie the ball game up. Dummies to Wilson. Prendergast. In fact, it's last play now. My apologies. Jethro Friend. To Hortony. Hortony will kick. Misses out Lilinga and it will miss out everyone and roll dead. So the kicking game not finally tuned in thus far for either team. Really, we've seen both teams kick dead so far. It's a common trend here at this stadium.
Absolutely. I don't think we've seen successful kicks in goal for this game or the first game or the middle game for that matter. Just really narrow and probably makes it a little bit easier for the defender in there. Not as much real estate to protect. Big strong run here.
Ackland comes back through the middle via Ropati. They're 40 off their own line now, Mount Albert. Wallace. Johnny Falilo Malio.
Oh, big hit. Didn't like it.
He's got a temper on him, Johnny. We've seen it boil over a couple of times.
There was just a bit of momentum. Defender body going one way, attacking body going the other. Well, they get the kick, and not a bad one either. Ackland drills that. Just on the 10 now.
So Paipalu gets us back underway. 5 out from the line now, Mount Albert. Quick play the ball from the skipper of the Lions. Here's Falilo Malio. Sala burrowing low. Wallace to Ackland. Ackland, a little swerve. Aidan Ackland just about through. Quick play the ball. There's numbers on the right here for Mount Albert.
Brilliant on the scramble defence.
Tackles up their sleeve, although the ball is then
sandwich.
spilt by Cully. Nick Wilson brings it back. So 0 tackle start for the Hornets after that. Driven backwards.
Yeah. 1 step forward, 3 back.
Albright. This is good from Mount Albert. They're up quickly and they're in numbers as well. Prendergast. Brandon Lee to Hortony to Olivetti. Olivetti wants an offload, but the dominant nature of the tackle means that's not a possibility. Friend to Hortony. Carlos Hortony. Last play coming up. Not sure they know it. Okay, well, there's an odd call on the field. I could have sworn the referee's hand was up. My apologies. I thought it was a little early in the tackle count. Perhaps he was signalling 6 again, in fact. Friend to Voeti Bau. 22 out from the line now. They trail by 6 here, the Hornets. Looking to hit back with 13.5 to play in the first spell. Brandon Lee to Prendergast. Nick Wilson. Wilson goes hard and low. Looking to break out of a would-be tackle from Aiden Ackland. Trent Bishop to Williams. Some big bodies on the field right now for the Hornets. Jethro Friend comes back through the middle and Bishop puts it down.
That's a rare mistake. They have to work hard now to keep them down here. They'll be clinical on the kick at the end of the set, all Mount Albert Lions.
Rogers Brown. The shot might have crept up a little high there. No issue for Taylor. Ackland to Ropati. Ackland stationed down the short, played on, the pass was flat at best, and Sita. That'll be a knock on.
Side, yep.
Pressure at that time from Liam Prendergast, who got the praise from his coach as well.
Just been watching Nick Wilson in the background there. He was a bit sore in the last tackle, getting up inside the 20. I think might be playing himself into the match. Yeah, with the field boys coming back from injury.
Hortony shakes out of the first one. They go at the second, but Mount Albert recovered in time to take him down, smack on halfway. 11.5 to play in the first half. Voeti Bau has been heavily involved, but fairly well contained for the most part. Here's Tuia, short at the line to Bishop, and now Trent Bishop through with fullback to beat. Lelenga does beautifully to slow him down enough to allow Ackland to get there. Now Ackland makes a second effort. That could be 10. No further action taken from Taylor. That was borderline cynical one that time. Tuia. Friend. Hortony. Voeti Bau. Johnny will go very close. He might go all the way.
What's
Knock
the call?
on at the end of it. So now Mount Albert back up to the 20. Howick need to get their line reset. Take a
quick look at the replay, yep.
And you can see twisting, fighting, trying everything he had. Oh, so close.
Great call by the ref.
Sulla taking the ground about 3 short of halfway. They're fairly bunched right now, the Mount Albert Lions. Continue to take a breather from that defensive set. Both trainers on the field right now barking orders at the troops. Here's Wallace at first receiver, turns back inside, and this is fresh legs on the park in the shape of Sione Talisa. Wallace jumps out, spots a little half gap. Taking the ground, 20 short. It's a messy play of the ball. Penalty or knock on. Knock on.
Wow. Still having the chat. I think it's a record today, Corey. I've said wow that many times.
Been a day for it, hasn't it? Brilliant day, and if you have tuned in for all 3 games, thank you very much for doing so, and trust you've enjoyed it. If you missed the last game, it may well go down as an all-timer. Caught a lot of football this year, but that would probably be the pick of the bunch so far for me. It had everything, that game. Hortony with the scrum feed. And Royden Gillett, another of the former Mount Albert players in this Howick squad. He was with Howick first and then went off to Mount Albert. But back with the Hornets now. Nick Wilson. Tuia. Tuia has Trent Bishop, and they're attacking in numbers, those two. We saw Tuia play him into a gap just a couple of minutes ago. Perhaps one to watch out for as Bishop now looks to bump the ball forward. Goes across to go forward and then links up with Nick Wilson. Just inside attacking territory now. Prendergast. Prendergast looking for Bishop on the link up. Bishop perhaps taken out in back play. Looks at the touchy and says, what about that one? Looping ball comes back to the middle now. Hortony. High off the boot. Chase coming from the Hornets. And they went up for it just for a second there. It was a chance. I think knock on by Howick will be the call here. And this will come back for a Mount Albert scrum feed.
Went close, didn't it?
In fact, told to just play the ball on the 10 here, Trent Wallace. Wallace to Fui. Jethro Friend. Perhaps close to being pinged that time. They end up kicking, and it's Ackland. That's a good kick. It's long and forces Olivetti to turn around. Then he looks up and sees a spirited chase led by Corey Sita. Brandon Lee, whacked by Tafui.
So he dropped it.
Well, they want to go on with it here. Not sure what
the big
sparked
enforcer
that.
in the middle of it all. So I think this is one of the things we touched on last week. You know, Mount Albert's by no means, you know, the biggest pack in the competition, and Howick certainly got some size across the board. Maybe something that his hand signals are there. They won't want to get involved in that. They'll want to play quick, fast rugby league and run these boys side to side, run them off their feet. Tony's wanting to have a chat.
So this will be interesting. Couldn't really tell what had happened on the live vision. Chance of off. Tafui getting the talking to. It's player Palu.
5 minutes.
Getting the most of it. And
Are you lip reading, Corey?
Taylor, well, I'm reading body language, and for a second it looked like he had turned to signal 10 in the bin. That's not the case. And we'll have a
Penalty awarded.
kick for touch. Different first half than I'd anticipated. Certainly not as open as I would have thought it would have been, but probably similar to the first game. I expect it probably will open up a little bit in the second half.
Mount Albert want to tackle out of the skins here. Yep.
Oh, morning to Philly and Tony Tuia. I think we're seeing a new friendship formed right here. The Howick Hornets work the ball forward. Friend, Bishop hovering out the back to Prendergast, to Bishop. It's a nice little left side overlap, and Royden Gillett is
Dragging
contained.
to the line. No, they stay in.
Jesse Albrecht doing all in his power to keep his teammate in the field of play here now. Trent Bishop, well, he won't mind the confrontational nature of all this either. Just under 4 to play. Friend links up back through the middle. Tony Tuia will go close.
Wow, great defence.
Last play coming up now for the Howick Hornets. Friend looks up and sees everyone set towards the middle, instead kicks in behind, and that is
They've stolen it.
beautifully cleaned up by Aidan Ackland. In fact, it's going to be ruled a knock on. I thought he got there cleanly at first. Ackland gets helped up by Tony Tuia and given a little hug.
Well,
Nice touch from Tony.
That wasn't it. You must be reverse psychology there, Mr. Tuia.
So back-to-back sets are going to be asked to defend here, the Mount Albert Lions, and right on half-time. Such a crucial point in the game.
Well, definitely want to repel them, will Mount Albert. How just missed that last message there from the admin team. How keen would it be for the Howick Hornets to try and slip one in before half-time?
We've seen it all year, and in fact in rugby league in general, that these tries either side of the break can be crucial blows. So holding them out will be priority number 1 for the Mount Albert Lions, however they have to do it. Reeled in on the full by Brandon Lee. Geez, a talented player. Can do it all, this guy. Prendergast to Scott Jones, the former Warrior. His first touch of the ball, changes direction at the line. They 10 out from the line now. Jethro Friend on a quick play the ball. Gets a ride off an offside player, and they're 3 short. Really good attacking opportunity here as Scott Jones dummies and looks to burrow, but he's short as well. Friend comes back towards the middle of the park. This is Prendergast. Dummies to Bishop and heads back door to his halves partner, but up quickly with a brilliant read was Christian Petty. Quick play the ball for Hortony. Hot step in Horton. Oh! Salah!
What was he pointing at?
Trainers onto the field as Wallace and Hortony exchange pleasantries. Wow, let's take a second look at this. Ball and all up top. Lovely stuff.
Great. Salah, great work. Just about pulled another one off. They got him. Okay.
Time off now. Ackland's down.
Oh, they're running in from out and wide.
Jazz Nahumain saying, what did I do? All of a sudden, the whole suburb of Mount Albert hates him. Ackland is clutching at the mouth, so this is no laughing matter. He's in a bit of discomfort here, and in fact, it's his nose by the look of it. Falelu Amalio and Tuia, the 2 number 8s, face off.
So we get to see this on the action replay. So that was high. And I don't think he hit him high with the second tackle, but he was certainly tied up. We're having a look at it again. Okay, at that angle, that sort of changes things a little bit.
It's a swinging arm in there.
Yeah, and he was coming down at the time.
So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. Ackland was falling, and the head probably ended up where Nahumain wasn't expecting it, but that's not the best of looks, and young Ackland's felt it. You wonder what this is like for the coach, John Ackland. Not only are you seeing one of your players hurt down there, but also your son.
And, still got to go home and see Marie Ackland, who'll be having a quiet word in John's ear too, I'm sure.
As I look down, and he's got his usual calm demeanour, just pacing around, keeping an eye on things. Never gets too high or low, does he, John? He's fairly balanced on the sideline, not like some coaches, shall remain nameless, who are perhaps a little more boisterous. So back into it we go.
So they kick out of danger, drive it down the park, or at least out
Out
in the pool. Is it?
That's the call.
Well, this is shaping up for a wonderful next 40, isn't it? Tony's giving advice now how to play rugby league.
It does appear that may have taken a bounce. It was certainly hard to tell from the camera angle, but...
He's still talking. We're down to moments of seconds away to half time.
So one last chance for the Howick Hornets to strike. Hortony retrieves from the back, goes to Prendergast, and Prendergast comes back infield to Gillett. 6-0, the Lions lead with seconds remaining, and a knock on from Gillett. So siren goes. That'll be all she wrote for the first half. It is the Mount Albert Lions who lead 6-0 over the Howick Hornets in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership qualifying semi-final. Now something's kicked off here again.
Let's not just break yet as we see the teams walk off.
Rory Ropati's
Rory's
not happy about it. Tony
Bring all the
Tuia.
boys back in. Now this is the part where senior players inside the Howick Hornets, with a few of the young boys there with Mount Albert, will probably get under their skin as they go to the break now and the two teams are apart.
I tell you what, there's a conference going on halfway between referee Taylor and Jethro Friend and Paiapalu, the two captains as well. Looks like Sean Clark's privy to that conversation as well. So there is some unhappiness here as the Howick team snarl at the Mount Albert pack on the way past. There's something brewing for the second half here. We will go for a short break before we resume with the second half action from Mount Smart Stadium number 2.
That's us, boys. 40 more minutes. Fucking get that grand final, brothers.
Give us a call that we want. Yeah? Fucking play the best game on them. They're better than that. Fucking we're going to get them working by just their
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready for the second half here at Mount Smart number 2. Howick Hornets up against Mount Albert Lions. And a little bit delayed in regards to getting the last match of the game away here at Mount Smart, just due to injuries in the first semi-final. And coming up on the screen there, you can see 40 minutes gone. Mount Albert Lions lead 6 points to 0. And 40 minutes to go. The winner of this match goes to the big dance, goes to the grand final. The loser plays the winner of the minor final that just took place earlier this afternoon. And they'll go up against the Glenora Bears. Referees are back on now. Corey Rosser joining us back in the commentary seat. And buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. It's a white knuckle ride, 40 minutes to go.
So the Howick Hornets get us back underway. They will run towards the Mount Smart number 1 end here at the stadium. And there's the Hornets with the work to do, facing a 6-0 deficit after a really closely contested first half. The scoreboard tells the story in that respect. Interesting watching the body language and the half-time talk. Mount Albert very much all together. Howick actually split off into little groups of the edges. So the right edge, it looked like. The middle group, Sean Clark did the rounds talking to them all. So it's interesting to see both coaches very calm and measured as you would expect, as Wallace goes a booming kick out of the bottom of the ruck. This will be a massive 40-20 effort. Fine touch. Oh, Olivetti! Puts in the touch.
Oh, if we can get an action replay on that by slim chance.
That is a booming kick from Trent Wallace. It is unbelievable.
Let's have a look at the toes. Yep. Great call.
Well done.
Big shout out to SAS Sporting Apparel, major sponsors of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership competition.
So a great chance here built off that huge kick from Trent Wallace. Scrum is fed. Ackland. Fernanga Norfolk. Set upon by plenty of blue jerseys. Scott Jones in there as well.
Ackland's got a noseband on. He's taken a severe knock to the head.
Yeah, that was earlier in the play with Jazz. Nahu Main as Trent Bishop comes out of the line and does not miss. Fraser to Wallace. Wallace to Palu. Palu's got Callum Moore on his shoulder. Callum Moore will go all the way.
Harry. Try time.
Mount Albert go out to a 10-0 lead. Darren Callepmore gets the ball out wide and then just has the power to stretch over there from close range in the end, but put it down to the Trent Wallace kick, which led to it. It was going to be a 40-20. Peter Olivetti stepped into touch trying to save it, and off the back of it, Mount Albert find points.
The SAS action replay here. And as Corey rightly said, it's off the back of a wonderful kick. They got deep down into their territory, out across the back line. And then look at that strong carry. 2-3 defenders on. 4 points, and what a way to start the second half. Mount Albert Lions are on fire. Eden Ackland addressing the ball. Again on his natural side for a right leg kick up. Must be a bit uncomfortable having a bandage around your nostrils.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Never in doubt off the boot. 12 points to 0. The Mount Albert Lions lead the Howick Hornets. Tries to either centre on both flanks. Callepmore the second after Whineanganofo got things going in the first half. Ackland converting both of them. Howick off the kick-off. Ropati will sort of spike the ball backwards and was cleaned up by Corey Sita. Good play there from Rory Ropati to prevent that from finding touch. They ruck the ball forward now. Marcus Fraser assuming the dummy half duties from Johnny Faliloa-Malio. Fraser to Wallace to Fui, it looks like. Ball loose, and it's Sione Talisa that's come up with the error. Marcus Fraser not happy with it. Jethro Friend says, "Can I have the ball?"
The chat continues.
Get up, boys, get up.
So Hortony with the feed. Collected by Friend. Prendergast. Prendergast jumps through, broke the initial one, which was the Talisa tackle. Scott Jones lining up for a carry now. Comes back through the middle. Former Warriors system member. Spent a long time over in Australia. Been strong this year. Kicked goals as well. Tuia to Hortony, and Nahumain puts it down.
Well, I think that's a big moment as well.
Mount Albert have got them rattled here. Howick look a little off their game. Fraser jumps out. Marcus Fraser, there's a good carry. Finishes at the shoulder of Hortony. Talisa. Hit on by Trent Bishop. Paiapalu, the captain. Jumps out, pops an offload as well. Goes to Callepmore, the most recent of the try scorers. Fraser to Wallace, to Ackland, and they're going to spread the ball and give a little bit of air now. Whineanganofo, ball spills loose though. Pressure on, manages to pop the ball back in. Mount Albert were close to sending him over the sideline there. Sita with the tackle. Albrecht jumps out, gets a fend on the first one, and charging through the middle comes Jesse Albrecht. Jethro Friend to Hortony. Hortony turns back to the inside to Brandon Lee. We're going to have time off here. There's something. In fact, it's just a penalty. 12-0 down. There's not much of a decision to make here, and Hotani will tap and go. Nahu Main. Oh, Salah Falilua Malio. He's lining up another big one. He's already won on the big hit reel for Salah. Friend to Bishop. Backdoor to Prendergast. They miss out. Jones to Olivetti. And Peter Olivetti will go close. Ragdolled to ground by Rory Ropati. Jones becomes the dummy half. Bishop, whose locks are now flowing freely. Getting in his eyes, I think, too.
Wow.
Jethro Friend. Back through the middle they come. Hortony, Mount Albert's defense so good so far. An answer for everything. Jones to Friend. Jethro Friend will go close. Basketball pass out the back. Options on now for Scott Jones down the left-hand side. Jones is over the line, I think, but he's spun.
How is the Lions' defense?
They just keep on showing up right now. A burrowing effort. Corey Sita, brilliant. Poor old Aidan Ackland, he can hardly see with that strapping around his nose. Prendergast back in field now to Hortony. Hot step in Hortony to Olivetti, but Mount Albert come up trumps. What a goal line stand that was.
Mammoth effort by the boys in gold. Walk back, reset.
Tuia out of the line hunting. Eklund to Whananga Norfolk, who shook out of the initial contact. Howick did well to hold on. Ropati to Eklund. Wallace comes back to the inside. Rogers Brown, but he's tackled well down low by Brandon Lee. Wallace, the first receiver, will kick up over the top, find space between winger and fullback, and say, Peter Olivetti, bring that one back at us. The arm wrestle belongs to Mount Albert right now. Half an hour to play. Howick need to find a way to turn things around right now. Their forward pack has been a strength of theirs for most of the year. Although they're not the biggest pack in the comp, they're very effective. They desperately need Clayton Williams back on out there as well. Driven
Just
back
so much
now.
determination.
Connor Morris. Tuia goes to the line. He's well contained though, set upon by Ropati and Tafui with help from Rogers Brown. Speaking of the man himself, Clayton Williams back on. Leaves Rogers Brown on the deck before he gets up and has a second go at him. Last play coming up now, the Howick Hornets. Hortony will kick. It's a high one down to the corner. Lalinga brings it in safely. He's been outstanding today, the fullback for the Mount Albert Lions. And just as I say that, shakes away from one, goes back through the middle. His post-contact meters exceptional so far. Trent Wallace centralises with Callop Moore. Wallace. Ackland is the first receiver. Ackland tackled well by Scott Jones. Keeps on challenging the line as Aiden. Whananga Norfolk will kick. Goes in behind, it's not a bad kick either. Olivetti, it's messy, and Corey Sita is breathing down his neck. Peter does really well in the end and returns it with interest. Still going as well, Peter Olivetti. Howick in a little bit of a hole right now. Would dearly love a penalty. 35 metres off their own line. Grafting away. Jethro Friend at dummy half. Right now, he's not really getting the go forward. He needs to work his magic because Mount Albert are doing such a good job on the Howick middles. Bishop. Is a good carry from Trent Bishop. Quick play the ball as well. Hotani on the end of it. Goes to Tuia. Tuia's got Jones on his shoulder and pops the offload out the back. It's messy and cleaned up by Peter Olivetti, who has no choice really but to surrender in the tackle. They're 40 short of their intended destination right now, the Howick Hornets. Friend will go short side. This is to Tuia. They play on now. They're going to run it on the last before they get to a kick. Sitting up now for Lelinga and Jesse Ulbrett. Oh, that was close. Mount Albert ball. Not a bad option that time to explore down the left-hand side. Tuia stationing himself down that edge. We'll get a good look at it here. And it was just about on here if it takes a kind bounce. Different story, but well weighted and good patient play from Lelinga.
Managed to ground the ball, just shame the rest of his body was outside the dead ball line. So Lions now grinding it out.
Tafui. Falilo Malio back on for his second stint at dummy half. Ackland will kick early. This might be a 40-20 here. Yes, it is. Wow. Both Wallace and Ackland.
Clinical.
Crucial blows with the kicking game.
We saw it last week. We're seeing it again today. You know.
Body language says it all right now for Howick. They'll do well to hold them out right now.
You know, they were down there for at least the last good 15 minutes and have been repelled at every time, every opportunity. And here come the Lions now, deep inside the 20 into the 10. More danger looms. Get him out.
Great effort. Keeps the ball in. Was that knocked on that time? Yep, that's the call. So well done, Howick. That was very important. They came up with a play there, and they do just that. Both these teams looking to end long droughts without a grand final appearance. 2015, the last one for the Mount Albert Lions, and 2011 for the Howick Hornets, who have been bridesmaids the last two seasons, suffered heartbreaking losses in the major semi-final in both those instances. So plenty of motivation to get back.
And the prodigal son, John Ackland, coming back to Mount Albert. How happy would they be? Sterling effort for these boys for 2019. That said, not over yet. Nice little drop on the inside there.
Clayton Williams put to ground. Friend to Voiti Bao. Callum Moore up quickly though. Hortony to Tuia. Tuia holds it up. Plays up the back then to Prendergast. Maybe a gap on the left-hand side if they can get the ball there, the Howick Hornets. Gillett then dances his way back infield, and he is taken the ground. Last play coming up. They're 20 metres out from the line. Hortony gets pressured. Surely that was a knock-on. Back the call.
Still need to kick.
Olivetti kicks over the top. Ulbrett's onto it. Oh, took a horror bounce.
Not unless you're a Lions player.
Very true. Foot into touch though. I think Howick should get the ball back here.
Ball boy there, giving his player a big pat on the back.
Yeah, that's the extra effort you like to see from your ball boy. Not just collecting the steed in, but cheering the troops up. Scrum to pack down. 23 and a half to play. The Hornets desperate need of something positive here, because right now they're staring down the barrel of a trip to face Glenora next week. He played here at Mount Smart Stadium number 2 as well. Streamed live on aucklandleague.co.nz. Hortony short to Voiti Bao, who changes direction at the line and then is taken down about 9 short. Reece Charlie, the dummy half. Hortony gets smashed for his trouble by Johnny Faliloa-Malio. Williams, backdoor, Prendergast, Olivetti, quick hands, Gillett, Albrecht, diving finish in the corner. Did he get there?
Tell you what, we're going to find out on the other angle, and the ref says yes.
Yes, he did. We wait for confirmation. Or I should say wait for verification on the vision.
Rory's telling his brothers to have a look at that back in London.
Hortony so nearly dropped that ball there. It was great work from Faliloa-Malio. But then here, lovely pass from Clayton Williams, showing all the skill. Nicely summed up by Olivetti, and then Albrecht. Yeah, great finish. Looks okay to me. Hayden Ackland.
Man's mask has fallen down. Well, this kick is really important.
Isn't it? Chance to make it a one-score game.
Hearts will be in the mouth of the Howick Hornets fans, both here and at the club.
He kicked well last week. Scott Jones from memory. They've nailed one or two from the sideline. Hits it. Looks good. Coming away. It curls. Score remains Mount Albert 12, Howick Hornets 4. They'll need to strike twice if they are to come back. So Ackland gets us back underway. Tuia winds up off the back fence. Met hit on by Tafui. Ropati in there to offer some assistance as well. Williams gets rushed. Paiapalu, the captain, he's having a good game.
Good. I felt the body contact. I was
That
trying
good,
to get
you're going into German.
Yeah, pretty much. Dumb cough. Yeah, no, he certainly got a shoulder on there.
Hortony to Vueti Bao. Back to Olivetti. Olivetti dancing his way through. Still though, just not denting the line like they have so often through the regular season. Well, that'll change with that carry. A good one from Williams. Friend spins it out the back. Prendergast. Now they were offside on the left, I thought. Pressure on at the back here. Claimed by Albrecht. And Albrecht pops the ball out the back. It ends up in the hands of Lilenga. And brings it back. Gets wrestled to ground by Royden Gillett. What a game this has been from Mount Albert so far. Still 19 and a half to play. Christian Petty comes in and says, I'll have a go with some work, and does nicely as well. Ackland to Corey Sita.
Noseband to headband in the dummy to the big headband. Great run.
I hope they've got a tape and bandage sponsor, the Mount Albert Lions. Plenty invested today as Faliloa-Malio, another of the headband bandits, jumps out of dummy half and steals a few extra. Now Wallace with options left and right. It's to the right he will go to Ackland, who kicks across the body. Lilenga got checked in play, and then Olivetti cleans it up and timed that one nicely. He's been beaten twice by those long kicks, but other than that, Peter Olivetti's positioning has been outstanding.
Great step. What's happened there? Okay, that's not good. We may not want to look at that.
Oh, Carlos Hortony. Oh dear.
So, nicely, so we turn our attention to the crowd there. And 18 minutes, 18 seconds on our clock there.
You know it's bad when your teammate comes in and covers your eyes, as Johnny Vueti-Bell did there for Carlos Hotany. So let's hope that that is not what it looks like. And Carlos, well, I doubt he's going to finish the game, but no, they're running straight for the ambulance here. So this will be a significant stoppage here, and our immediate thoughts go out to Carlos Hotany on field, and we brace for a decently long break here, and a chance for us perhaps to update you on some of the other stuff going around with the Auckland Rugby League. And of course it starts on Wednesday night, Troy, with the SAS College Rugby League finals. The Premier one's been played, but we've got the 15s, the girls and the Senior A, and the big one we're looking forward to, the big rep clash.
Yeah, absolutely. So the College Rugby League have got, I guess, a select team together, a representative side for, College Rugby League Auckland. And they have a wonderful opportunity of going out against our Warriors select team, an under-16 side. And we'll live stream that on a Wednesday night here from Mount Smart 2. So if you're in the area, you've got school uniform, Corey, you probably still fit your school uniform. You'll be able to get in free down here at the match. I, however, will have to pay $5. And I think under fives are free. So if you're in the neighbourhood, come and see, the next generation of rugby league football stars coming through, and I think the Auckland College Rugby League rep side up against the Warriors will be a good goodie.
Yeah, it should be a great night, and it's been a really enjoyable season so far on the College Rugby League scene. The other one I'm looking forward to, the Region of Origin, which kicks off in September. We'll have 3 straight weeks of that. We've got the girls involved this year as well. That was a real highlight last year and a great way to finish the season, and quite cool to see some of those youngsters coming through and having success in our club and college comps now as well.
Yeah, and all of that, as you know, Corey, will be live streamed, so we've got 3 weekends of that back to back, and you'll be able to get to all of that footage through www.aucklandleague.co.nz.
So a significant stoppage which will take place here now, and it's been a little while already. It's Carlos Hotany, who's unfortunately picked up a serious injury down on the ground. So we apologise for the delay. It's been one of those days, a number of injuries today. But as it stands, the Mount Albert Lions, the second-placed qualifiers from the regular season, are going to advance to the grand final with 18 to play. Howick have all the work to do, and they've just lost their halfback as well. There's Salafalilo Amalio going over, and that's a nice touch from Salah. I think he may have been the player tangled up with Hotany there when the injury occurred. There was certainly nothing untoward in it, just one of those things. So just getting an update on the scores from Te Aratu against Papakura in the Crown Lift Trucks Fox Championship. It was 12 all at half-time, 22 all at full-time, and we're now into 10 minutes of extra time. So a thriller brewing over there at Jack Colvin Park. By all accounts, the winner of that one through to the Fox Championship Grand Final. Of course, they've both already secured promotion by finishing in the top 4.
Well, we've had a couple of stoppages here today, Corey. Just had another one.
I thought there was going to be more to that.
Yeah, well, we don't want to change our wonderful pitter-patter that we've had all season during 2019. And, despite what I say when we're not on the air, it's been fabulous to be able to sit next to you every weekend. So I've had nothing better to do.
It's been a wonderful year, and I've loved the new format. It's brought some real excitement, and it's been great to be able to do some of the Fox Championship games as well. Really cool to be able to do some of the girls' age grade stuff as well, and a bit of women in league in there. So we've certainly.
So you're not referring to me dropping my stat sheet?
No, we don't mention the stat sheet. It's a sore point, in this particular commentary box. But anyway, it's been great to have your full attention and not have to battle with the numbers. The teams are going through some drills on field, and if you are wondering about the senseless chit-chat right now, it's because there is a stoppage, and quite frankly, I'm not sure the commentary team quite prepared enough material for all of the
Well, I have
breaks
brought a
we were going to
guitar.
have today.
I have brought a guitar, and I'll be singing one of my latest hits. If I could only pronunciate and not have a lisp because I've bit my tongue, and we've just sort of mulled our way through it today. As all of those fans over there, they're probably very, very lucky they're not listening to us waffle on over this side and being live here at the ground. There's a wee bit of action replay, and how good has Rory Ropati been today? He's shown a bit of flair on the old attack, but has he gotten through a mountain of defensive work?
Yep, and I think he's benefiting from being with his cousin down that right edge as well. This is the first try, and it is Melino Whineanganofo who crashes over, and he did really, really well. You can see the reaction there.
He looked like the guy from Fantastic Four, whose arm just, stretched out another 3 metres to score that try.
Here comes the second one to Darren Kellett-Moore, and this one was a little different. It was nicely constructed in the back play. Trent Wallace to Paiapalu, the captain, and then just look at this here. Just hits Connor Morris on the outside shoulder, and it's enough to carry him over. Trent Wallace, well, a lot of the plaudits rightly go to Aidan Ackland in this team, but boy, hasn't Trent Wallace had a wonderful game in the number 7?
Yeah, he has. He's got a couple of good kicks away as well. And has been instrumental in regards to, getting the team around the field and giving good ball through to Mr. Ackland. See here, he's got the headband on at this point.
This is the Howick Hornets try, and it was nice quick hands from Olivetti to Royden Gillett, and then just a wonderful finish from Jesse Albrecht. He's had a good season for the Hornets.
He has. Jesse's had a great season. Sorry, that was me laughing. Just, the slow motion old nose bandit there was, trying to...
Yeah, it's a great look, isn't it?
It is. They should bring out a T-shirt with that next week. And I'm sure Daniel Sefawifa will be working out how to do that now. Nose bandit T-shirt week.
Perhaps one for Carlo Park diehards even.
I'm trying to think what we do over there. We call that the tooth plantation. There's a lot of teeth left at Carlo Park. Probably half my teeth are there. So as we buy a bit of time now, the stadium lights have come on. And there's 18 minutes thereabouts to play off as the player there gets some professional attention. Howick 4 points, Mount Albert 12. Does anybody know the Pukekohe score? Is that what you're having a look at now?
It is indeed.
Is it? And what does that look like? What does that look like?
Give me a second as I go through and try and access that one.
Big round of applause for that player.
So looks like Bay Roskill have won 20 points to 18 over Pukekohe. That's not the confirmed score, but certainly what we've got here, and by my count, unless there's been an injury, that should be full time, and we await updates from the extra time thriller over at Jack Colvin Park as well. So Carlos Hortony being taken from the field, and once again I'll just reiterate our thoughts go out to Carlos with what looked like a fairly serious injury, a broken leg or something along those lines. It certainly was not good, and he's got plenty of help and attention around him as well. So it'll be straight off to hospital for Carlos, and it's a disappointing end to what's been a really good season for Carlos. He's been a regular in the Cook Island comp as well, flying over there and playing in the games, but he's really boosted this Hornets team since his return. We can see Dan Rawson making his way to the sideline with Carlos as well, who's straight on to the happy gas there by the look of it.
Yep.
And now a real big mental barrier to overcome.
Absolutely.
That for Howick and for Mount Albert as well to some degree.
And this is going to come down to now who switches on first.
So Clayton Williams, thank you for staying with us through that prolonged break. We are set for a late finish. It's a late start anyway. So Tuia bumping forward to Rory Ropati, who Troy quite rightfully gave a rap to.
Just about popped that one out. Attracted 3 defenders. But no, Rory's got through an immense amount of defence today. He's been all over the park. Good to see.
Strong carry out wide. This is the 14, Reece Charlie, who was asked to step in at dummy half last week. Did a good job as well in Jethro Friend's absence. So Jesse Kevin it is who has moved into the halves by the look of it. Now loose ball cleaned up by Scott Jones, but we're going to be called back for a knock on. So let's try and have a look at the reshuffle here, and certainly Jesse Kevin, who was initially named on the wing, he appears to have come in to join the halves, and that means Reece Charlie looks like he's gone into the centres to me, and Connor Morris onto the wing. So not a major reshuffle. Lucky to have a guy like Jesse Kevin who is capable of playing in closer to the middle. Hoani, Rogers, Brown. It was a hill before, it's now a mountain for Howick. They're going to have to do it without their chief playmaker if they are to overcome this one. Sala Falelo Malio, another strong showing in the middle.
What's the call there?
Just as I say that,
Mark?
I've cursed him. He's come up with an error.
Knock on. And this is what tends to happen during broken play. You know, it's just upsets the rhythm of things.
Defend it. Get up, boys. Get up, boys.
So Howick set heavy to the middle. Olivetti the first receiver. "30 metres to travel now for the Hornets. Just the one try to their name so far. 2 for the Lions, both converted by Aidan Ackland. Whanayanga Norfolk down the right-hand side and Callum Moore down the left in the second half. Bishop dummied to play at the line and instead held on to it. Williams copped the shot for his troubles. Jethro Friend is the dummy half. They're 15 short of the line right now. Prendergast misses out Jones. They got space on the left-hand edge. Now Olivetti gets upended and put back to ground safely. Just short of the line now. Tackle still up their sleeve here, the Hornets. The minor premiers on the hunt. Prendergast runs the ball. He's going nowhere. They're 9 out. It's the last play coming up. Scott Jones kicks in behind. It's way too deep.
Just too sharp and hard. Mount Albert back for a quick tap and re-go. Isn't he strong?
Yes, indeed.
No centre of gravity. Oh, he spilled it. Play on.
Bishop will come forward. Charging.
Thought about it.
Friend to Tuia. Tuia's got Williams on his shoulder. Oh, deception from Tony Tuia. Tricked me that time. Friend. Jethro jumps out. Engages. Finds Tuia to Bishop. Bishop now looking for a chink in the armour. 14 to play. The Hornets in desperate need of something to spark them into life here. They trail by 8. Kevin. Jesse Kevin.
Great tackle.
Rogers Brown around the legs in front of the uprights. Friend. Jethro. He's got plenty of yellow jerseys around him and they will deny him close to the line. Last play now coming up. Tuia is the dummy half. And a penalty. Oh, that's huge. That is huge. Mount Albert, can they survive another one? Tuia, the tap, the go, Tuia.
You'd have to expect that, wouldn't you? Try to sneak one there, burgled it.
Williams is one out. They go out the back instead. It's a poor pass, but Jesse Kevin scoops it up. Sometimes broken play is the most dangerous. Not often you hear that. Jethro Friend and poor pass in the same sentence. Pirouettes. Left edge they go. Scotty Jones straight in to Albrecht. Albrecht looking for a second. Rogers Brown. They're solid in the middle though, Mount Albert. 12.5 to play. Albrecht struggling. He's got serious cramp right now. Oh,
that might be a hip. Okay.
No, I think it is just cramp. Fairly violent case of it if it is.
Must be doing some Raki there.
I don't know what the diagnosis is there. Well, he's back up, so it's definitely not a hip, thankfully.
The defensive effort from Mount Albert Lions has just been absolutely titanic.
Friend to Kevin to Bishop. Bishop, oh no, the pass is way off. The ball's still loose. Cleaned up by Mount Albert. Caleb Moore says, I had nothing to do with it, sir.
Mount Albert's growing with each set now. They'll take so much away from that defensive effort only moments ago. Yeah, the Lions starting to run at will now. Just gone 50 metres down the park. Oh, fumble.
Oh, Mount Albert, 3 sets in a row where they've put the ball down. Scrum to pack down. Time off from referee Taylor. Mentioned it before, Mount Albert hunting a return to the SAS Foxmore Premiership Grand Final for the first time since 2015. Been even longer for the Howick Hornets. 2011, their last one. And they won that one, of course. Anthony Gelling and the team back then. Jason Tavita, the dad of Chanel Harris Tavita. Gillett bumps the ball forward, runs it at Ackland and Ropati. 30 metres to go. Tuia is the first receiver to Bishop. Bishop short to Williams. Williams still standing. This will be a quick play of the ball from Clayton. Lightning quick. Jesse Kevin. Short at the line. Voeti Bale puts it down. Play on the call though. No, it's not.
No rush to get into the scrum, is there? 10 minutes on the official clock.
So Falilua Malio to feed. Pushing the scrum as well, and Wallace recovers it. So that's something you don't see too often these days. Christian Petty goes for a 1-out run. Howick now, they're up quickly. Appeals for a flop from Bishop. Palu bumping the ball forward. 9.5 to play by our count.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just sort of thinking, earlier I said Nick Wilson looked like he was injured or off the pace, and I don't think we've seen him in the second half.
Well, he's down there in a jacket too by the look of it. Falilua Malio jumps out. Taken down by Bishop and Gillett up top. 10 short of halfway. Wallace. Another booming one downtown. Morris.
Great tackle. Look at these guys. They're wanting to go to a grand final, Corey. They're all over it.
Chase brilliant from Mount Albert. It is now getting to Do or die territory for Howick if they are to come back. This will help their cause.
Get up, boys, get up!
Acker's down there checking his timepiece as well. Minutes are ticking away. With 6 minutes to go, do the Mount Albert Lion fans start to believe that they're going to the big dance?
Tuia. Prendergast to Albrecht.
Great
Albrecht
tackle.
gets driven back by Aidan Eklund.
Who was that masked man?
Friend to Jesse Kevin. Drills the kick down low. It's not a bad kick. It's just going to go dead. So 7.5 to play by our count. Still time if they can do it, Howick, but really the signs are not there that they will.
I never said that, Sean.
Corey Sita.
Ooh, big hit.
Petty. Met head on. Voiti Bow comes in to finish off the tackle. They're 40 off their own line now, Mount Albert.
Trent Bishop has tried hard all day, hasn't he?
Wallace with a little jump out of dummy half. Lilinga to Eklund. Whaneanga Norfolk through. Jeez, he's powerful, this guy. Ropati to Eklund. Lilinga centralises. Bishop tried to whack him.
Elusive.
Jones down low. Takes the legs and the body goes with it. Wallace loops the ball over the top to Palu. And Palu now pops the ball out the back. Callett Moore onto it, but he's taken down 10 out from the line. Points here would end the game, you would think. Christian Petty jumps out, pops it offload to Palu, but it's knocked on, and now Howick need to get things moving and in a hurry.
Well, we've got another one with sore leg going down. And up at lines, they're pointing to him, cramp again.
Time off while we deal with that. Reece Charlie's that keen to get going. He's played the role of physio. Trent Wallace coming in to exchange a chat with him. It's a nice touch from Reece Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in the heat of battle, that's a rather touching moment. Callett Moore and Charlie exchange a handshake afterwards. And there will be that'll be the last of the love, I would imagine. We'll be back into it now. 5 and a bit to play. Tuia to Gillett. Gillett gets hunted down low by Tafui. In fact, it's Whaneanga Norfolk. Scott Jones lurking out wide. Eklund is up to task,
On the
though.
tussle, yeah.
Tuia to Bishop. Bishop. Basketball pass over the top to Voiti Bow. And how did Johnny hold on to that?
Hold on to it, absolutely.
Remarkable. Bishop jumps out of dummy half now, and they hunt down the short side. Reece Charlie taking the ground just inside attacking territory. Last coming up. Jesse Kevin unleashes a rocket to the skies. Lilinga says, I'll take that. Just under 5 to play. What a story this would be. To some degree, Mount Albert travelled under the radar for much of the season. It was towards the back end when they picked up a victory over Point Chevalier and then beat Howick to gain control of the Root Rooster in the final round. But you do get the feeling that all along they believed in themselves that they could get through the decider, and they are now 4.5 minutes away from doing just that. Tafui, hasn't he been good in the middle? Stood up to everything that Tony Tuia and co have thrown at them. Wallace. Ackland,
Oh,
Aidan Ackland straight through the middle. He's got support there in Trent Wallace. Ackland looking to round him and is taken down 9 metres out from the line. There's a Howick player down and all sorts in back play. It's all Brett. Wallace jumps out of dummy half. Mount Albert are going to the grand final. Trent Wallace, a try under the posts. And Mount Albert are off to the big dance. Look at this from Aidan Ackland. Exceptional. Possibly could have gone to Wallace on that play. As it turned out, it didn't matter. On the very next one, Wallace directing traffic, says, get out of my way, this is mine. All the experience, knows exactly what to do. And crashes over under the posts.
Beautiful to watch. No words to add to that, Corey. Mount Albert Lions, 2019, they're on their way to the grand final of the SAS Fox Memorial. How good was that try? Aidan Ackland, not only did he get the split on, but the quick presence of mind to be able to get up and play the ball under pressure, under immense tension, and to be able to make that try a possibility. And now he gets to kick it goal. Daniel Sefuifa, Bandit t-shirts are out next week.
Yeah, this is worth a chapter in the Mount Albert history book, isn't it? The performance today of this young man. Let's make, no secret of it. He's been targeted today. They have sent everything at him. And he stood up to it. He's defended brilliantly. And when needed, he's come up with the big plays. I still find it hard to believe he's not wanted at higher levels, this kid. And he's still young. I'm sure there's still time for him. As he puts it over. With 2 to play. Ackland, both hands are up. He knows it. The busted nose won't matter one bit tonight.
For a minute there, I thought you were talking about John.
No, John looks just like he would if they were down by 50. Pacing quietly. There's not even a smile.
He'd be smiling on the inside.
I'm sure he will. And even happier with the way his son has performed today.
Yeah, gifted with his mother's DNA, obviously.
High one off the boot as Howick try a Hail Mary. Well, just not their day.
Yeah. Mount Albert's ball.
So if we dare cast one eye to next week, Glenora up against the Howick Hornets. It's going to be a brutal match, and they look very well matched in terms of their style today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the style is going to be something that is similar. If we were talking about Northcote, who's obviously, come to the end of the road, they play fast footy around the place as the count goes off. The game next week, ladies and gentlemen, you won't want to miss that. It'll be like 2 big heavyweights coming to the big fight.
Wallace works back through the middle into the dying minutes now. Dying seconds, I should say. Falilo Amalio, is there one more cherry to go on top? Trent Wallace says a kick into touch will do. Well, the Howick Hornets, minor premiers, the standout team all year, but they're going to have to go the long way to the grand final if they're going to do it. Mount Albert, more than deserving winners today. What a performance. What a coaching plan as well.
Oh, absolutely. And they get the week off and they'll need it. That'll certainly keep them in good stead getting to the big show. As the countdown kicks in.
So we'll get a play in. Jesse Kevin with the feed. And the last play of the semi-final. What of how it got in the bag, a little chip over the top, Allbred's onto it, it's claimed, and now Mount Albert, just maybe Lilenga, no, Trent Bishop's apologising, taking the ground for the first time since 2015. The Mount Albert Lions are off to the big dance. Look at that, what a beautiful shot, the Bull Boys. They ride the highs and the lows all year, and the Lions are off to the big dance, 18-4 winners over the Howick Hornets here in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership qualifying semi-final. A big thank you to Stream Shop for their work today, bringing you the coverage, and a big thank you to everyone at home for tuning in. Trust you've enjoyed the live coverage. We are back in action on Wednesday night. Keep an eye on aucklandleague.co.nz for full details. We'll see you then.